everyone, and welcome to this seminar where Issam El Absi, Director of BIM Center and the BIM Academy of CCC, and also the Director of the Global BIM Management for Infrastructure Project Certification Program that has been developed between Ziggurat and CCC, will talk us about the Midfield Terminal building of the International Airport of Abu Dhabi. This session will be around 40 minutes, more or less, and at the end, Mr. El Absi will answer all of your questions. So make sure that if you want to answer anything, you can do it through the chat of this platform. And at the end of this presentation, we will do a roundtable where we will give you all the response. Hi, Mr. Issam, are you there?
Hi, Alexandra. Thank you for the introduction. Thanks to the attendees for making the time and effort to attend this session.
I leave you with the presentation and see you at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexandra. So again, hi everyone. Again, I would like to thank you for attending this session. And hopefully the next 1 hour or so will be of interest to you and will add value to your understanding of the BIM process and to your business in general. The title of this presentation carries the name of BIM Delivers Tangible Benefits for the Construction Industry. And we will focus on a very unique implementation in an iconic project that is the Midfield Terminal building in the International Airport of Abu Dhabi in United Arab Emirates. I will start by giving a small history or introduction about CCC BIM Center and CCC as a company. CCC is an international mega contractor. It has 65 years in business, is doing construction in many fields, in infrastructure projects, oil and gas projects, and it's been doing mega projects in different parts of the world. Currently, the number of employees in CCC is around 120,000 employees, and the revenue is about $6 billion. We started the BIM in CCC many years ago. Actually, we started this journey in 1997. Where at that time there's nothing called BIM, but CCC as a contractor realized that the construction industry has a lot of problems in efficiency and requires a lot of work to make it, up to the current IT revolution, the current development in systems and computers. So we were looking for a way, a methodology that can make our construction process more effective. That's why we came up with a complete, method of construction that really helped us to do our business better. The first project was the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Doha, and this was 1997. And this project was totally estimated using a BIM platform. So all the quantities were generated and extracted from a BIM model that, for my knowledge, this is the first BIM-based estimation project, as far as I know. Since that time, CCC realized the importance of having competent engineers. Actually, in CCC, we have only engineers who are running the BIM business. So either architects, structural engineers, civil engineers, mechanical or electrical engineers. And those engineers are well educated and well trained. And we have created 3 centers in different parts of the world that deliver services to CCC and to other companies, which we call it the BIM centers, or centers of excellence that works for BIM. These resources are located in different places. We have one big center in Athens, in Greece, one in Cairo in Egypt, and one in Palestine. The total number of engineers that we have is around 250. This is an old number, the 225. But currently we have almost 250 BIM engineers in CCC. They are running projects for CCC and for partners and other companies other than CCC. In CCC, BIM is a centralized corporate initiative. So it is controlled and managed by the corporate BIM office in Greece. So we set all the regulations, the standards, the procedures, the quality control modules in one place, And this module, this way of work provides us with a quality end product. BIM is, as all of you know, BIM is about information, and the quality of information is very important for the success of BIM implementation in any project. So what do we offer from BIM? Actually, our portfolio of services covers all the life cycle of the project, from estimation, from tendering phase, estimation phase, during going for construction and execution and realization of the construction process, until handing over and delivering the information that is collected during construction for the client to manage his facility, whether from facility management perspective, asset management, or integration with GIS, or any system that the client is using to run and maintain his facility. In addition to that, we, of course, we have a BIM Academy. As we said, we will come to this point later, but we understood the importance of creating qualified and competent BIM engineers who really understand the BIM process and can take this knowledge from the computer to the construction site and beyond. So our services covers scope management, which is very important from our perspective. Scope management is a key for the success of any BIM implementation we have in any project. So this covers contractual things, scope of the project in the beginning, during execution, understanding variations, managing the change, and make sure that all the stakeholders of the project understand what are the impact of these changes. Of course, as part of our processes, we cover the engineering part, which we talk about engineering. We are talking about design coordination, clash detection, value engineering, a lot of drawing, production, construction documentation, and so on. And being a contractor, it is very important to understand how or make use of this technology to manage the construction process. And when we talk about managing the construction process, we are looking to control the time, the schedule. We want to control the budget and the cost. And definitely we need to deliver a quality product for our client. So we are leveraging BIM to help us controlling time, cost, and the quality of the end product. And definitely at the end of the project, we need to make sure we are delivering to the client an as-built information model. So this as-built model depicts the exact location, geometrical location, and geometrical shape of the facility, plus all the information that is collected about the assets of that facility during construction. That's why we have a laser scanning team in our centers. And this laser scanning team are using two methods of laser scanning. One is called mobile laser scanning, and one is the static laser scanning. So what you see in front of you, just an example of what the mobile laser scanning can do in one of our projects in Qatar. All our clients are very keen to utilize all the information gathered during construction for the next 50 years where he is going to run and manage his facility. That's why, to satisfy the client, our client needs, we need to focus on delivering the information in the format and the systems they are looking for. So we managed to integrate our BIM solutions with GIS, Geographic Information System. I'm sure you are aware of that. Facility management, asset management, and operation and maintenance systems. Of course, we deliver our information in any standards, including COPI, which is an international or a standard for delivering operation and maintenance information from construction to after construction. And since we realized the importance of having qualified and competent engineers in our organization in CCC, we opted to create a BIM Academy. This academy has been running for the last 7 years. And we have, and this is an almost 1-year education. It's a physical, online, not online, physical education. And it covers 12 different modules that covers the different life cycle of education. So what we are doing, we are blending the academy with the practical side of construction, and we are using BIM to demonstrate how we can think things from the theory to construction to practice, and how can we leverage BIM to make real benefit to the stakeholders of a project, whether for engineers, for designers, for contractors, for subcontractors, and for the client. So our program is divided into 12 different modules, covers all the different parts of the BIM process, from 2D environment, engineering, quantity surveying standards, 3D environment, developing comprehensive BIM for all disciplines, including architectural, civil and structural, and mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, external works. We cover all kinds of projects, whether it was infrastructure, buildings, oil and gas. We provide enough education about coding, standards, international regulations of BIM, the quality control process of BIM. We teach our students how they can enrich their BIM models such that they can use it for other aspects of the construction process. Of course, the design coordination part, the clash detection, and how we can detect problems during construction virtually before we go to construction. How we can leverage BIM to extract dynamic and up-to-date drawings that reflect the exact conditions on site and in design. How we use BIM to better plan the construction process. How to make people realize and understand the facility digitally properly before they build it. This applies for the client and for the construction team. How they can use BIM to control the construction process from quality, time, and cost perspective, as we explained earlier. And how we can leverage BIM to create a data repository for after construction, such that the clients can use it for facility management, GIS, operation and maintenance, and other post-construction activities. What you see in front of you is the example of the projects were developed by the students who were part of the academy in 2011-2012. This is part of the education and lecture halls that we had that time. This is the second academy, 2014-2015, and these are examples of the projects developed by the students that time. Part of the lectures and professors, we give the lecture in a very rigorous way and we recruit very qualified teachers from the industry and CCC and others, where they can give very rich knowledge to our students. Of course, we take our students and they visit site, and they realize what they do virtually against what they see in the construction. Of course, we leveraged this education, and we found that it's really very fruitful for all the students that were graduated from the BIM Academy. And to make an effective use of that education, which is physical, we opted to partner with Ziggurat, a very reputable institute for online education. And we have developed the global a master program called, excuse me, 1 minute, seems the technical problem happened. Okay, can you see the screen now? Alexandra, can you tell me if the screen is visible at your end?
Sorry, Sam, what do you need?
Can you see the screen now? Because
yeah, now it's perfect.
Okay, my apology. So we'll talk about this master program at the end in details. But what I wanted to say that our partnership with Ziggurat was focusing on how to use this BIM Academy education and how we leverage it and create an online program that can be offered for any industry expert who want to increase and enhance his knowledge in BIM and BIM workflows and BIM processes. Also, I would like to point to you that one of our partners is a company called SenseOne. And in this partnership, we are trying to leverage BIM technology integrated with IoT, Internet of Things. And we are building like a platform that I believe will enhance the smart cities era, because as you know, a lot of governments now are trying to advocate and elaborate and embrace smart cities technologies. And what we are doing with BIM is, I believe, the first step towards the digitization of facilities and really rigorous step towards more robust, smart cities development. Now I'll take you quickly through some of our projects that we are doing currently in CCC and worldwide and with other partners. So we are working in different parts of the world. We have more than 20 mega projects. Our projects values range between $100 million and $11 billion. And our portfolio of projects range from hospitals, roads, bridges, academic buildings, airports, ports. Actually, we are doing any kind of projects, underground facilities, you name it, railways. So actually, our portfolio of projects covers all kinds of construction. And we managed to demonstrate that BIM as a technology, if used properly, can benefit any kind of project of any magnitude, especially mega projects. Of course, in a few minutes, we'll have a big focus on the Midfield Terminal building being one of our most prestigious and most challenging implementations in BIM. This is one of the projects we are building in Kazakhstan. It's a $1.3 billion project. It's a mixed development of commercial, hotel, and residential building. This project is a Lusail multi-purpose building. It's a sport facility that is about $315 million project, and it has about 107,000 meter square built-up area. This is a mixed development as well as a building that has several towers. It is a $450 million project in Egypt, in Cairo. This is a big road construction. Is about 15-kilometer road construction that has a lot of bridges, interchanges, and in Doha. It's about $370 million project. This is one of our recent projects, which is a mall in Sharjah. It's a city in United Arab Emirates. It's about $300 million project, $350 million project. This is another mall in Oman. It's about $800 million project, and it's about 350,000 square meters. This is a building in Dubai. It's about 157 million US dollar project. This is one of our biggest projects. It's a metro in Riyadh. It's about $11 billion project. CCC is, and the BIM Academy and BIM Center and CCC believes in sharing knowledge and exchanging knowledge. That's why we are organizing several conferences, international and regional construction events and BIM events. This is a very famous event that we do almost every year. It is called the Middle East BIM Conference, and last one was May 2017. We are part of several European initiatives that advocate virtual construction and virtual technologies, and we are very effective in these groups. This is an Encourage group, if you are aware of this international European group that is concerned about innovation and development. We are a founder of a European initiative called 5DI, and we are in that group. We are developing standards for BIM for the construction and software industry. Also, we are organizing through that forum several international European events, such as the Constance Lake BIM conference, called 5D conference. It is organized every 18 months in Constance Lake in Germany. This is the last time we have presented this Midfield Terminal building in the Constance Lake conference. Now I will take you through a nice, interesting journey. I'm showing you our experience for implementation of BIM in the Midfield Terminal building in Abu Dhabi, in the International Airport of Abu Dhabi. This project is really very iconic. I'll give you some figures illustrating the size, complexity of that project. What you see in the front of you are different renderings showing they are from the virtual model, and they are showing the complexity, architectural features, and beauty of that building. This shape is an X-shaped building. It's like an X shape. It is about 700,000 meters square built up area. The project value is about $3 billion US. It has aircraft capacity of 65 aircraft at the same time, and it has 106 gates. It can serve up to 8,500 passengers per hour, and the package handling system length is about 22 kilometers. This is for those who are in the airport business, they will realize that these figures are big. To understand more the size and complexity and challenges in that project, there is about 870,000 cubic meter of concrete in that building. It's about now the total steel tonnage of that project is about 70,000 tonnage of steel structure. The roof cladding, which you can see is very complex in geometry, is about 260,000 meters square. Now, contractually, the client and the owner of the airport figured that this kind of project in that short time, to be able to, for a contractor to build it, he is requested to follow different ways of working, different methods of construction, different approaches. As such, he figured that why not to mandate BIM on the contractors who are going to build that project. And he requested BIM to be used through the different phases, from engineering, during construction and execution, for contractual and variation orders, for manufacturing, and ultimately during handing over. He is requesting a full integrated as-built model that linked to the facility management, asset management of the client, plus the operation and maintenance system of the client. Of course, for us as CCC, this were good news, because we were ready. We have a lot of experience and huge background in how we could implement and leverage BIM for different kinds of functions. And in that project, it was a good chance for us to augment and collect all the knowledge we have and present it to the client as a way to make this project happen. For us, BIM is not only about the 3D model. BIM is about a complete integrated portfolio of solutions that you can use and integrate the 3D model with all the rich information in that model with other functions in the project. What you see in front of you is a complex diagram. However, I will simplify it to you as much as I can. When you run a project, you have a set of systems. These systems cover commercial part, covers the human resources part, cover the execution and engineering part, and then covers the handing over and time part. So what we are doing, we believe that BIM should integrate all the different functions, all the different stakeholders together in one, let's say, integrated platform, such that the people who are doing the execution and the people who are doing the design, the people who are doing the handing over can communicate, leverage and use the BIM technology to make their work more effective and more efficient. So we are trying to make sure that data is entered once, all data is collected and maintained in the correct and shared database, where everybody can get what he is looking for and can assist his construction process or his function and make it more effective and more robust. And one of the challenges that we faced and we are facing usually is how we make sure that all the different stakeholders, that they have different capabilities, different understanding, different history of how to use BIM, how we can put them on the same level and how we can make sure that they are delivering what is the client mandated for all the stakeholders. We have developed something called electronic data interchange. This is a procedure that is developed to make sure that all the stakeholders working on that project are delivering the BIM data in the correct format, in the correct time, and the correct platform. So when we augment all the data coming from the different stakeholders in this huge data repository, we are sure that all the demands are satisfied and the BIM is serving all and every stakeholder so that he can deliver a better construction process. We want the project to finish on time, within the quality requirements, and hopefully within budget. So as such, of course, beside the standards, the procedures that we have developed, we figured that we need a very robust and very dynamic authoring platform, modeling platform, that can help us build and create these difficult geometries for all disciplines, for all kinds of any size. And for that, we were using Bentley EcoSim, which we found over the year that it is serving us enough. It's giving us all what we need, from robustness, from complex accommodation. It can accommodate any kind of geometry complexity. It is customizable and integrated. One of the major things we are insisting always to have from the BIM model is that it serves as the scope management platform, which means all the project scope is captured in the BIM model, no matter how big or small. All the disciplines are captured in the BIM model. Any change or variation is captured and maintained from the model. And we have illustrated this very well in that project as well as in other projects. The second thing, we were to be able to integrate the BIM 3D environment with other systems, you need a method of integration. This method of integration can only be achieved if you create an asset tagging procedure, which means each and every 3D object in your model has a unique identifier that can talk and can be linked to other systems such as quality control systems, such as your scope management solution, such as your document management solution, and so on. So we have created a set of procedures and automated workflows that can take each and every asset in that project, give it a unique identifier. This is happening by integrating what we call it the work breakdown structure, and this is how the construction methodology is happening on site, with the discipline and other parameters that ensure uniqueness of each and every asset. And now, since we have this amount of information that is generated every day by us and by others, how we can make sure that this information is distributed to the correct stakeholder on the correct time. So we worked on a collaboration platform that was developed and was shared for all the stakeholders of the project, where they can access, they can upload the data and download the data in the correct time. There is a quality control gate by our team that makes sure that each and every stakeholder is delivering what he should in the correct time and with the correct measures of quality and according to the procedures and standards that we have developed. In addition to the digital collaboration, of course, there must be a place where people can sit and discuss together the problems, the issues, and solve it together. So we believe that you need to have in any project physical collaboration as well as digital collaboration. For that project, we have developed a room, we call it the I room, where this room is about, consists of the screen you can see in front of you. So this screen consists of 9 different screens. Each and every screen is connected to a PC, to the computer, that is a touch screen. So you can have 9 different subcontractors or vendors sitting on the same table, displaying 9 different problems in the same time. And then we augment all the models from the different subcontractors in one screen, and this one screen takes over, and everybody can discuss and see the problem on the same time. We create on the spot RFIs, request for information. This request for information was assigned to one engineer or one stakeholders, and within our system we use to track and make sure that these RFIs are solved and corrected. Definitely one of the major concerns of any construction process is the site logistics, cranes, equipment, accessibility, roads. And we use BIM extensively to make sure that site logistics are managed, maintained, are built in the correct time, and dismantled in the correct time, without affecting any stakeholder. Actually, there was a lot of cases where we demonstrated that with the use of BIM and proper what-if scenarios and integrating that with the time schedule, we could eliminate costly decisions that if it would happen, it would have negative effect and costly results on the construction process. And definitely we're using BIM effectively to make sure that clash detection is happening. We are identifying problems in the designs. We're eliminating problems digitally before people go to site and build any area. And one of the good things that we have created a system that can extract clashes, and we treat clashes as assets. And these assets need to be managed from the time we find them until the time they disappear. So we want to make sure these assets are kept in a database, and somebody is following these assets regularly, and making sure before we go to construction that these problems or these clashes are resolved. It's an example of an RFI created from the workflow of clash detection and collaboration. And those who are working on the construction business, they realize the importance of making sure that the concrete elements have the correct openings and the correct embedded items. So before you go to construction, you want to make sure that you have the correct opening in time and the correct size. And of course, if you have an embedded item in concrete, you need to make sure that it is casted in the correct time with the concrete. So you don't have to break or destroy or demolish concrete after you build it. So we have created a system called opening schedule traceability. And this makes sure that each and every opening is captured in a database, and this database is followed. And it is like managing the process of making sure that the construction team is building that opening in time before we go for construction. This is an example of the opening management report that we give each and every period. We create a report, shows who's the stakeholder of each and every opening, and if it was built or not, and what is the correct size of it, what kind of services are passing through that opening, and what kind of treatment this opening should have, like fire treatment. And of course, one of the most important things is to make sure that your BIM captures all the spaces, all the rooms, and knows what are the assets, what are the finishes, what are the components of that room. And we have a system that's only customizable to cater for finishing schedule and room assets and room components. Definitely, a lot of 4D simulations happened for that huge project. And we were using 4D simulation to make sure that the client approves the construction schedule. And from our perspective, 4D simulation should not be only integrated with time. We believe that when you integrate your model with time, this gives you a false indication if this construction schedule is working or not, or constructible or not. You need to integrate this with many other factors, such as scope, such as labor productivity, to make sure that what you are developing as a construction sequence is good enough for the construction process. What you are seeing is different examples from the 4D simulation that we used to do for the client to make sure that he is approving the construction schedule. One of the major benefits of using BIM is how we manage and capture changes. As you know, for such a big project, we were expecting hundreds, if not thousands, of changes. And we wanted to create a platform where there is complete transparency between us and other stakeholders who are causing the changes. This change might be a result of a variation, might be a result of design change, might be a result of problem or error in construction. So what we used to do, and we are doing until now, is capturing all these changes and putting it in a centralized database. So for any change, you know the result, you know the initiator for that change, and you know the consequence of that change. And this system was used effectively to manage the different claims that we had with the client, and all the claims were solved in a scientific way, and everybody made sure that he is getting exactly what he deserves or what he earns. Of course, we were using BIM to ensure that the construction methodology is achieved and people understand how they are going to build difficult areas, or they can realize and see what are the construction sequence in difficult areas. One of the very important and successful implementation for BIM in that project, when we took the BIM from design during construction until fabrication. As such, we managed to make sure that the fabricator is getting exactly the correct dimensions for his components. He is getting exactly the correct elements in place, and this saves a lot of time from the fabrication process. And we had really excellent examples that demonstrate if you use BIM effectively from the beginning, having in mind the end, you can save a lot of time and you can help all the stakeholders to deliver better functionality in their business. This is another example of fabrication for some glass panels and from steel, very complex steel elements, components. That's another example. Now, as we are approaching the end, one of the very important usage of BIM is how we can manage your relation with others, such as other contractors, other local authorities, other, let's say, neighbors. And for that, we have developed a system called Master Plan, Interface Master Plan. This system captures all the interfaces between the project and others. And as such, you can know and you should depict exactly where you should finish a certain area correctly, and you hand it over to your neighbor or your other subcontractor or next in line contractor, and make sure that you are not delayed by him and he is not delaying you. To be able to complete the picture, of course, as you know, BIM is not only about the information contained in each and every asset from geometry or attributes. There are a lot of documents that has to be integrated with the BIM and with the assets, such as drawings, as-built documentation, data sheets. And we have developed a system that can integrate each and every asset or each and every 3D object with the relevant documentation, with the relevant procedures, with the relevant specs and relevant data sheets. Of course, this is part of the handing over system that we are going to give to the client at the end of the project. And definitely, one of the things that we used BIM for was leveraging BIM to do sustainability studies. And we have done this for several materials. We have managed to use BIM to make sure that we can better utilize material produced during construction and to serve the sustainable target of that project. There is a local sustainability that Abu Dhabi is using, and we were forced to demonstrate that we can leverage and use BIM based on such studies. And of course, and part of the build process is to use laser scanning to depict the exact geometry of the facility. And we were using this, we are using this for that project. And of course, we are using the laser point clouds and update our model to reflect the as-built conditions and add to our model all the as-built information that the client would need for post-construction functions. At this point, I finished the presentation and about MTP project, and I will give the phone now to Alexandra.
Thank you so much, Mr. Issam El Habsi, for sharing this presentation with all the participants attending this seminar. It's been really interesting and I think also very useful for all of them. I'll take the presenting role because while all of the participants are sending us all your questions through the chat of this platform, we'll tell you a bit more about the Global BIM Management for Infrastructure Project Certification Program. I will share my screen and taking advantage that Issam is the director of this program, I think that who better than him to tell us about this program. Can you see my screen, Issam?
Yes, I can see it. Thank you, Alexandra.
Okay, perfect. So I leave you with this overview of the program.
Thank you, Alexandra. Okay, this master program that we are developing with Ziggurat, it's I believe one of its kind. It is, as I said, it is leveraging our background and knowledge in the construction field and in the BIM field, our BIM Academy background and education, with Ziggurat's reputation and knowledge and let's say advantages in online education, and we are offering a certificate, a master program called Global BIM Management for Infrastructure Projects. And this project is really very interesting for me as a director because, and I like it so much because it takes the participants to a different level really of realizing the BIM process, and for fields that are not really very common in the construction business. If can we advance please the presentation? Can you go to the next slide, please? Okay. As I described to you, so we are coming from a background, we are a contractor, and we have been in the business for 65 years. And this is very important for the audience to understand. Having this background, and since we are working in BIM since 20 years, and deliver benefits and realize benefit by the construction team using BIM. This gives us an edge because, and gives this program really a high value because it's not only a theoretical education, it's really practical education. Each and every function that you're going to see was based on something that we've tried. We have seen and we have found workarounds to cover all the difficulties and problems that you could face in any construction field. Not only that, we are always having in our mind that we need to leverage what we do in construction. We need to support our clients. We need to support the post-construction part. And this is also another advantage for that program because most of the BIM processes currently are not focusing on the whole, theoretically they want to, but they never tried and they never managed. However, we did it. We have demonstrated it in several projects and on different sizes, and we could find the correct way that can make our workflows very effective and very efficient. Next, please. Of course, these program objectives, it is really aiming to build the capabilities of our students, especially when it comes to infrastructure projects. And I want to stop at this point for a couple of minutes because most of the BIM education currently is focusing on buildings. However, we believe that the benefits for infrastructure projects are much more than buildings. Infrastructure projects are playing a significant role in our life. The importance and criticality of infrastructure projects is known to each and every one in the construction business. And as such, it's very important to make use of such a technology to advance the infrastructure, construction, and infrastructure business more. Of course, All our students will take education by professionals who have been practicing this technology for many, many years. So they are sure they are getting effective professional knowledge in BIM authoring solutions. In addition to that, they were going to take overview of the current standards, practices that others are using. We are going to show them our experience and our background and how you can customize and take these standards and make better use of them for your construction process. Our workflows are very practical and they are designed to answer certain questions correctly and precisely, and you will get enough knowledge about a lot of these workflows. We have in CCC, we have developed a unique way for project controls. When I say project controls, I'm talking about, which I explained in my presentation, and I will repeat it again. How can you use BIM to make sure you can deliver your project more effectively? When you say more effectively, I mean in a better quality, in a better within the time constraint and within the budget constraint. Also, seeing the end result, as I explained to you, we are trying to use BIM to make sure we are making benefits for our client. We are delivering digital facility for our client. This is not only important for our direct client, but it's also important for the society, because we are helping in building a smart city. We are helping in digitization of our construction assets and our assets in general, whether they are an infrastructure project, whether it's a building, whether it is a facility. We are helping our society to be more digital, more advanced, and more sustainable. And of course, the next part, I would like to describe to you the modules. We have, the project is divided into 4 modules. The first module talking about the BIM ecosystem and fundamentals. And this is, I think, very well understood to you. But what we want to add is the flavor of infrastructures in that introduction. And we want to show you how we can integrate and how we do integrate all the different aspects of infrastructure with buildings and other kinds of construction within one portfolio of solution. And then the second one, this is a very specialized module because we have different offerings. The first one is offering on roads and highways. The second offering is focused on railways and metro lines. The third one is focused on tunnels and bridges. And the fourth one is focusing on subsurface utilities. The third module talks about our unique experience in BIM-based project controls and how we could use BIM to make better construction process. The fourth module is really a thesis. It's a big project that will make sure that our professional student is proficient in BIM and he understood the BIM process well. He could use the knowledge he gathered in module 1, 2, and 3 and deliver a complete project that will demonstrate his understanding, his capacity increased, and that he became more capable to absorb and work with BIM workflows. Very interesting, at the end, there is an optional, I think, very interesting site visit will be arranged for our students who are willing to participate. It is a visit to the Midfield Terminal project in Abu Dhabi, where they will see the complex of that facility. They will see the BIM team, the professional BIM team who are working on that project. They will see the site. They will be introduced to the different workflows that we have developed during the last four years for that project. Next, please. Okay, I'll take you quickly in more details in the different modules. And as I said, the first module talks about the ecosystem and BIM fundamentals. And we will demonstrate what is BIM for the AEC industry. We'll talk about some concepts about BIM, an overview of the BIM for infrastructures. we will give an introduction about the different themes we have. The theme that talks about roads and bridges, metros and railways, tunnels, bridges, subsurface utilities, and underground utilities. Then block number 3, we will give general introduction about the authoring fundamentals. We're talking about the 2D authoring fundamentals and the 3D authoring fundamentals. Those are very important to prepare our student for the next more professional and more demanding phases. Next, please. As I said, in module number 2, it is divided into 4 categories. The first one talks about roads and highways, and this will take the student in a journey how he can model and how he can design his road in a way that can serve the construction process. So we will introduce to him to the road fundamentals and the different types of roads that or highways that he comes across. We will show him how he can model earthworks and how he can quantify and scope earthworks, which is very important of the construction process of any highway or any road. He will understand how he can work with the horizontal and vertical alignments. Those are concepts relevant to the road engineers. And then we will talk more about the different components of a road and how we can model them and scope them. And then we will take him to advanced topics of road and highway design, such as super elevation and intersection model. Next, please. The next topic is really also a very interesting topic, or second type of module 2, which is railways and metro lines. And here we're going to introduce what kinds of rails and railway terminology and railway fundamentals and metro lines fundamentals. Definitely we will cover also how we model and scope the earthworks, because any infrastructure projects has to do with earthworks. Then again, we will talk about horizontal and vertical alignment for the metro lines and for the track of any rail construction. And then we'll talk about special track works and turnouts and crossovers, and those are very frequently happening in such construction. And then we'll go through cross-section modeling and for railways and metro lines. Next, please. The next topic is very interesting also for structural engineers who are interested in tunnels and bridges. And in that also we are going to talk about fundamentals of tunnels and fundamentals of bridges, different kinds, the types of tunnels and bridges, and the different terminology that they are going to come across during this module. And then we'll talk about earthworks as well, and how this is managed and scoped during tunnel and bridge construction. Then we'll talk about how we manage the horizontal and vertical alignment and 3D alignment of tunnels and bridges, with the different topics covered there. Also, we'll talk in details about tunnel modeling and how we can create different tunnels with different cross sections and different complexity. And also we talk about bridge modeling and talk about how to construct piers and substructure part and the superstructure part and other bridge accessories. Next, please. And the subsurface utilities, and this is going to cover, this is really a very rich topic, because it is going to demonstrate to the students how they are going to handle and manage all underground construction utilities, such as gravity lines, dry utilities, and the different concepts they are going to come across as terminology and as concepts. And they will understand how to model wet and dry utilities, whether they are pressurized or gravity lines. They're going to see how they are going to leverage the authoring platform and how they are going to create the different components of these facilities, such as nodes, conduits, trenches, and others. We will take them through an advanced topic, and they will see how we are creating complex facilities and complex underground utilities. And then we are going to see how the integration between how to build utilities and how we integrate this with buildings. Next, please. Module number 3 is really very advanced and very unique because it will leverage and it will demonstrate how we could use BIM in CCC to control the construction process. And it will show what is the requirement that we need to have in BIM so that we can use it for construction. So this will be block number 1. It will demonstrate how we can apply quality control methodologies for the BIM process and how we make sure that what we develop in BIM is good enough for the construction process and for the post-construction process. It will demonstrate how we are integrating BIM with other systems and how we are using BIM for things like visualization, clash detection, and RFI generation. We will demonstrate also how we integrate BIM and we use it for planning and site logistics, how we use BIM for scheduling, how to create 4Ds, and how we make advanced BIM planning, how we do site logistics and constructability. Then we will demonstrate how we integrate BIM with document management solution, how we integrate BIM with the commercial applications such as estimation, budget, and cost, how we capture progress from site. Then we will teach our students how they use our in-house 3D application, which is called C3D. This is our visual project controls and integration system platform that we use it to view the BIM data, to integrate BIM data, and to create customized reports that are very effective and efficient for the decision making by the project management. Next, please. The last module is about the thesis project, and we will be asking each and every individual or each and every participant in the program to develop a complete project that illustrates his understanding of the previous knowledge that he gained through the first modules. And really it's very interesting because at the end of, once you develop the thesis and you make sure that you are fluent and understanding all these concepts, you will realize how much knowledge and how much capacity you have gained from this master program. Next. During this master program, you will be taught you will be introduced to many solutions and many systems. These solutions and systems will help you build more effectively designs and infrastructure designs. We will teach you how to use some of the Bentley solutions, which are very famous for infrastructure development and infrastructure BIM authoring, such as EcoSim Building Designer, Power En-ROADS, OpenRoads, RailTrack for metro lines and for railways, Open Utilities for subsurface utilities, OpenBridge for bridges and for tunnels. And then we will touch upon ProjectWise, which is a collaboration solution that will show you how you can use the system to collaborate and integrate your workflow with others. Plus C3D, which as I explained, is our in-house solution to manage and capture BIM data and how to report BIM data and how you can integrate BIM with other solutions and other systems. Next, please. Next. Alexander, can I have the next slide, please? I think this is the, yeah. I think by this point we are coming at the end of this presentation, and I would be glad to receive your questions. So Alexander, if you have any questions posted by the audience, please let me know. Yeah, in the next few slides, I forgot that. In the next few slides, we are introducing the lecturers. One of the program director is, as Alexander has introduced, is myself. I've been working in the BIM field for the last 20 years. I am the director for the BIM Academy, and I am the manager for the BIM centers of CCC, and also I'm the director for the BIM Management for Infrastructure Master Program. I have a total experience of almost 25 years. I have, with me, I have several very competent and very qualified engineers. Their experience ranges from 10 to 20 years of construction experience and BIM experience. They have diversified backgrounds. They have structural background, mechanical background, architectural background, geomatics background. So we have, it's a blend of very professional and very talented engineers who will give you really a very interesting flavor of the BIM process from different aspects. So total of, we are a total of 10 almost instructors, and this list is growing, and it's, you will see the quality of the instruction process and the quality of the experience and background of the instructors. And of course, we talked about the on-site visit to the very interesting and iconic project, the Midfield Terminal project building in Abu Dhabi.
I will finish with your presentation, Issam. In Ziggurat, we use the platform Canvas, which is the leading online platform in the world. Actually, more than 2,000 leading universities are already using it. And we would really like to welcome all you on this program, and that you could take part in the global business of BIM with Ziggurat master programs. If you are interested in getting more information of this program, you can send me an email. My name is Alexandra. Here in this slide, you can see my contact. Feel free to ask for more information or your doubts, and we will try to answer them. What we are going to do now is we have some questions. I will tell you the first one. It comes from Mr. Ahmed, and he asks if are your clients already asking for BIM, or if it's something that you are providing?
In all the projects since the last 2 years, all our clients are asking for BIM, without exception, whether it's for any kind of construction as well.
Mm-hmm. Let me see more questions. 1 second, because we have several. 1 second. Okay. Let me see. Wait, sorry. I can see the questions. 1 second, Issam. I've lost the
all those technical problems happen during a presentation. It's normal.
I don't know. Yeah, sorry for that. I don't know if you have something to add while I try to find the way.
As you are aware that the BIM is being mandated by different governments now, such as in 2016, BIM became mandated by the UK government. I know also other countries like Singapore has mandated BIM 2015. In the United Arab Emirates and the Middle East, they have mandated also BIM in Dubai and in Abu Dhabi. This is plus that a lot of our clients who are looking for the real values of BIM and how they are using the BIM technology to benefit their after construction operation and maintenance of their facilities, they are requesting BIM as part of their processes. So I think it's very interesting, and if an engineer now is not aware of BIM, or he's not talented in that field, or he's not working in that field, I think he should take this decision and start working with BIM, or at least learn what is the BIM process.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find the questions?
I totally agree. Yeah, we have one question from Mr. Avinash Durl, and he asks, how far the BIM revolution has reached as regards to the interoperability? Do all smart BIM software platforms enable smooth transfer of data?
This is a very good question. I think, unfortunately, no. Different solutions are still struggling to find the best way where they can for interoperability. However, we have managed to a great extent to overcome interoperability issues, and I will give you an example. In the Midfield Terminal project, the MTB project, we have more than 120 different stakeholders. They are all using different solutions, different platforms. Some of them are using Autodesk platforms, some of them are using Graphisoft platforms, some of them are using Bentley solutions, and some of them are using other solutions. But we managed, for all of them with no exception, to create what we call it this data interchange procedure, that it is the ownership of CCC, that we managed to show them how they can eliminate such problems, or I mean interoperability problem. And all the data that is gathered during construction, we have it really in one central location with all the models, all the geometrical information, and all non-geometrical information in one database.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Also from Mr. Durl, he asks, whose contribution you feel is remarkable for insisting BIM? Is it the client or is it the prime contractor?
I think the key word for any success, and I think, will be the client. The client is the side that is paying the cost, and he is, I think, he's the ultimate beneficiary of the construction process, because finally the facility belongs to him. So it is more successful and more, I think, sustainable if clients ask for BIM more than the main contractor.
Another question from Mr. Shafiq Melangadi. Did you utilize Revit for the Abu Dhabi project?
Yes, Revit was utilized as part of our work processes, yes. Some, not us, but some of our stakeholders. As I mentioned, we have 120 different stakeholders. A lot of them were using Revit, and we managed to integrate all the Revit information in our workflows.
From James Bao, we have another question, and he asks, how about BIM plus IoT? Is that any country already start implemented?
I believe we are the first to do so. And I believe we are the first to do so. And that's why we have announced this collaboration between IoT company and BIM Center, where we are demonstrating a full integration between IoT and where you can see a model, and this model, you can see the different devices, you can see the quality of air, you can see the presence of a person graphically, and you receive notification on your, for example, mobile, that your room temperature is very high or very low. A lot of, we can have a separate session for that, but really it's a very interesting topic. And as I said, it takes BIM to another level of implementation and another beneficiary level for the society, I believe.
Mm-hmm. From Mr. Nassim Saud, he asks, we hear all over the news that the Midfield terminal is way behind schedule. How the BIM is mitigating this?
Okay, because of the size of the project and the ambitions of the client, there are a lot of changes that happened over the last 4 years. We have almost 300 major changes in the construction, in the design. And this is happening because the client wanted to make better use of the airport and made better deals with other stakeholders and other countries to make the Midfield terminal building as a hub in the region. This mandates quite a huge amount of changes. Now, how BIM mitigates for that? we managed to capture all the changes in our platform. So we know for each and every major revision, what is the impact of that revision, and how, and we managed to demonstrate to the client the effect of that change on the construction schedule and as well as on the cost of the project. So I think the best way to describe his question, to answer his question, is that BIM managed to capture the scope, capture the change in the scope, and demonstrated the effect and consequences of the change on the time and on cost of the project.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Issam. Time's over. Thank you so much for your participations to all the attenders. And please remember that if you need any further information about the program, or if you want to send Issam some other questions, you can text me to this email that you can see, I hope, in your screen. Thank you so much again, Issam, for sharing all your knowledge and experience. And I hope to see all you soon.
Thank you, Alexandra, and thanks to all the attendees for their time and valuable contribution. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.